A stampede of people has killed 700 at a Muslim pilgrimage near Mecca. A stampede during one of the last rituals of the Hajj season, which is the annual pilgrimage that Muslims make to Mecca, has killed more than 700 people and injured around 800 others in Saudi Arabia. This happened this morning during the ritual known as stoning the devil in the tent city of Mina, which is just about 2 miles from Mecca. This is not the first time this has happened, and this, by the way, is only 13 days after a crane collapse killed more than 100 people in at the Grand Mosque in Mecca. The incident is the deadliest at Mina going back to 1990, when almost 1,500 people were killed in a similar stampede. The official death toll, the last one I saw, is 717, but the numbers keep climbing, and it could well reach or surpass 1,000. So if you haven't heard of this ritual, the crowds of pilgrims throw stones at 3 pillars in a reenactment of when the prophet Abraham stoned the devil and rejected his temptations, according to Muslim traditions. And this is a common thing, that in expressing their loyalty to God and to stoning the devil, that hundreds of people die. And when you hear about this, Lewis, and you imagine what the logic must be to continuing this ritual in a way that leads to hundreds dead more often than it should, wouldn't you imagine that maybe we should consider that if hundreds of people are dying in stoning the devil, maybe God doesn't want us to do this tradition in this particular way. Maybe God would understand if we change how we do this to prevent hundreds of people from dying.
How do you really inject logic into something so illogical to begin with? I can appreciate the faith, and I know it helps some people, but to me, the entire thing is just completely illogical. And I just think that, let's take a step back, and why don't you just, throw a rock at a tree in your backyard, and maybe that will suffice.
Well, I'm sure, Lewis, that would be deeply offensive to those who believe that the stoning the devil ritual is sort of requirement to be properly seen before God. But look at the
But
numbers,
think
right?
about that. Think about how many Muslims will never be able to travel to Mecca. So if this is a true requirement of your faith and your religion, that seems a little absurd to me.
Almost 400 died in 2006, 250 in 2004. 2003 saw only 14 people killed, 2001, 35, in 1998, 118, in 1994, 270, and as I mentioned, in 1990, nearly 1,500 people killed. In the pragmatic world, you have to sort of also look at Saudi Arabia's management of this thing. Can't you manage the pilgrimage? Because every year, almost every year, this happens to a greater or lesser extent, depending on how lucky, I guess, you get. Could Saudi Arabia not manage this from a sort of event planning perspective in a way that reduces the death toll?
Well, they try to. They make expansions and they change things. They change the way things are organized. But I still think you just have too many people coming in too quickly to really control this.
But
I
you
think it's too
expect the
difficult.
crowd, the rituals and the locations are always the same. It's supposed to be a holy pilgrimage, not a massacre on innocent people.
It's a testament to just how many people are showing up. I mean, the number of people showing up every year is incredible, David. It truly is.